we've got another deep dive ready for you all. And this one, Genesis 39, we're going to be talking all about Joseph and Potiphar's wife.
Right?
It's a story about trust, temptation, betrayal, and
power.
Yeah, a lot of power dynamics at play here. A lot to unpack.
Definitely.
So we're going to jump right in. Joseph's been sold into slavery in Egypt.
By his brothers.
By his own brothers. And,
Right.
Talk about a rough start. But even in this situation, he starts to find some success.
Yeah. I think one of the things that's really striking about the Joseph story is how often the text emphasizes that the Lord was with Joseph.
Right.
It's like this constant refrain throughout the narrative, and it's this divine favor that leads to his success in everything he undertakes, despite the circumstances. So even though he's in this really, really difficult situation...
He's a slave.
He's a slave. He's been betrayed by his family. He's in a foreign land, yet he prospers.
He can't not succeed. It's like he keeps getting promotions.
Right.
I mean, we see this when Potiphar, this is an official of Pharaoh, puts Joseph in charge of his whole household.
His entire household. Everything.
He's like, I trust you with all of this, Joseph. I only care about the food that I eat.
Yeah, the text actually says Potiphar did not concern himself with anything except the food he ate. So that's a pretty high level of trust.
It's a huge level of trust. I mean, could you imagine to hand over everything that you own?
Everything but the food, right?
Yeah, everything but the food. Like, everything is yours, Joseph. And, this is really important because this level of trust makes the betrayal that's about to happen all the more impactful.
Right. It really sets the stage for what comes next.
And what comes next is not good.
No.
And it's because of Potiphar's wife. And, the text is very specific about this. Joseph is described as well-built and handsome.
Right.
And Potiphar's wife, she notices.
She definitely noticed.
And she propositions him. And this is where it gets interesting because Joseph could easily just been like, no, I'm not going to do that. But that's not what he does.
It's not a simple no.
No.
He actually frames his refusal in terms of loyalty and honor.
Right.
He says, how can I do this great wickedness and sin against God and against you, Potiphar?
But a master.
Who's given me everything. He's given me everything except you. He says it almost exactly like that.
It's like he's saying, how could I possibly betray the man who has given me everything?
Right. And it's a clever way to respond, but it also highlights the impossible situation that he's in.
He's in a no-win scenario. I mean, he's a slave.
Right. He doesn't have a lot of options.
And what's he supposed to do?
Yeah.
His master's wife is propositioning him, and there's no good way out of this.
No.
But it gets worse.
It does.
Because she doesn't give up.
Yeah.
She's persistent.
Every day, the text says.
Every day. It's like she's wearing him down.
Yeah.
But he's standing firm. And then we get this scene. Joseph's alone in the house. And Potiphar's wife comes in and makes her move.
And, this is where things get really tense. She grabs his cloak.
Oh, yeah.
He runs away. He leaves his cloak behind.
And that is so interesting.
Why does he leave his cloak behind?
Was it just like a mistake in the heat of the moment?
It's possible.
Or was this like a deliberate act? Like, I'm leaving this piece of clothing with you.
Yeah.
And that's all you're getting. This is it.
I think it's a really intriguing detail in the story. And it kind of invites us to think about what the cloak symbolizes.
It's like a silent rejection.
Right.
Yeah.
But Potiphar's wife, I mean, come on, she's smart.
She's cunning.
She's cunning. She's not going to let this slide. She comes up with this plan. She calls all the servants in, and she's like, look, Joseph tried to assault me. And
of course, she has the cloak.
She has the cloak. She's like, this is his cloak. He left it behind. What other proof do you need? It's a really chilling reminder of the power dynamics at play here.
It's frightening.
Because as a slave,
Joseph's word means nothing.
you have no voice.
Against the word of his master's wife.
Right. She's going to be believed. And sadly, Potiphar believes her. He throws Joseph in prison.
It's like all of that success, all those promotions, it all comes crashing down.
And it's so unjust. I mean, you can really feel for Joseph in this moment. Falsely accused, imprisoned, with no way to defend herself. This story, unfortunately, resonates with so many situations, even today.
Oh, yeah.
It's a timeless story about power imbalances and how they can lead to terrible injustices.
It is. And it's easy to get caught up in the darkness of that moment. But the text, once again, reminds us the Lord was with Joseph.
It's there again.
Yeah.
Even in prison.
That theme of divine favor just keeps coming back. It's like even in this darkest moment, there's still hope.
Right. This is not the end of Joseph's story. Even in prison, he's going to find a way to navigate these challenges and move forward. And I think that's a really powerful message.
And it makes you think, If God's favor could remain with Joseph even in prison, how might that apply to our lives and our challenges? I mean, I think that's something for all of us to think about. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's a really important question to consider. Because we all face difficult situations and we all experience setbacks. But the story of Joseph reminds us that even in those moments, even when it feels like all hope is lost, we can still find a way forward.
Absolutely. And, I think that's a good place to leave it for today.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into Joseph and Potiphar's wife. It's a story that's both ancient and incredibly relevant to our lives today.
Until next time.
Happy exploring.